Good morning, everyone, or at least it's morning for me when I'm making this video. If it's whatever time for you, good afternoon, evening, whatever time. Today I would like to do, in our part 3 of this interval series, I'd like to do 3 different intervals. Part 3, 3 intervals. Yeah, it works. The 3 intervals that we're going to do are the octave, and then the major second and the major seventh. Okay, now just hearing that out of the blue, it may seem like it doesn't make much sense. They don't really go together, but they do, and I'll tell you why. The octave we're going to start with is kind of like the basis for these 3 intervals. We're going to start with the octave, and then the major second and the major seventh will kind of work within that. It's all in the context of that octave interval. So they work together in that way. As we go through the video, I think it'll be a little bit more clear with you. So, start with the octave. The octave, if you play the 2 notes together, it may not sound like much of a difference, really. Ooh. Now, what you don't know is I actually played 2 notes there. Some of you may have picked that up, and that's fantastic. Some of you maybe not. And this is why I wanted to talk about the octave today. Because the octave may seem like a super simple, very easy interval to understand when it comes to ear training, but it's not as easy as it may seem. Because of the fact that they are essentially 2 of the exact same note. Okay, like my example I just played, that was a C4. Remember the middle C that we've been using to start with, and then the C5 above that. And put them together, it sounds like that. And because they're the same note, it's very hard to tell when they're together. But when you hear them separately, you can tell obviously it's way higher in the second note. Now, in the previous videos, perfect fifth and perfect fourth, if you haven't watched those videos, go back and do that. Please do that. Watch those videos. In those videos, we talked about how the ascending interval is the one that I'd like you to start with. That is not any different now. Starting with the bottom note, going to a top note, so an ascending interval. Alright, now in those previous videos I would give you some tips and tricks into how to catch those intervals and remember those, and I will do the same with every interval today. The octave is a very simple one. If you have been any sort of a musical theater person in your life, and even if you haven't, I cannot imagine that you have not heard Somewhere Over the Rainbow. You've got somewhere over the rainbow, somewhere is the octave jump. Alright? Again, when they are separated like that, it's a little bit easier to understand. The difficulty is when you have to hear them really close together in terms of time. If they played at the exact same time, very hard to differentiate. It may have just been that I played 1 note and you're hearing some other things. But I'm playing 2. Now if it's then you can tell, but it's a little difficult. Either way, the octave, guys. The octave is the exact same note, just 8 notes higher. So for you band folks, that's obviously your first note in your B-flat scale to your 8th note, which is high B-flat. So that's B-flat to B-flat, that octave jump. Being able to hear that and produce that on command, that is a skill that needs to be taught. And so here we go. That is the first one. Now I told you that the major second and the major seventh are related to that octave, and I did not lie. We're going to go with the major second next. The major second is very, very close to the root of the chord, or the first note in the scale. Alright, so we're going to work with our middle C. Alright, so we're going to start there, and then the major second above this is... Now that's really close, and you're like, why are you going from a big old jump and then going from that little distance? Reason being is because this octave gives you a firm foundation of what exactly you're shooting for. Like that is your starting point, your root of the chord, root, R-O-O-T, like a tree. And then your second is just a step away from that, and it's really close together. And guys, this is a really difficult one because there is a note in between this C and then the C4 and the D4. There's a note in between those two, and so that's not it. We'll get to that interval later, but this one is just far enough to have a little bit of space in there to fit that other note. This distance is super close, and the way I have always remembered it is kind of cheesy, but it's the Happy Birthday song at the very beginning of it. Happy birthday, happy birthday. That literally just goes from first to second note and then back down again. Happy birthday. That's your major second. Okay? That's the way it goes. That's the simple, easy way to do it. If you don't like birthdays, which, I mean, okay, that's your choice. If you don't like birthdays, there's a bunch of songs out there that have a major second involved. Another one that just comes to mind, Christmas is over at this point, but it's a Christmas song, Silent Night. Silent night, silent. Major second there as well. Just another one to give you a helpful hint reminder, to give you an ear, I don't know what the greatest word to say would be, something to latch onto in your memory to help you remember that is a major second. And so it's all based on going back to the root of the chord. So you have your root, go up one, and if you hear it, it always tends to want to go, it's a feeling that you get. It just kind of naturally wants to slide back down. And that's okay. That is a good, helpful reminder as well, that feeling. And it's especially important in the next interval that we're going to get to. And I realize that I'm going super fast and kind of blitzing through these, but that's the beauty of YouTube and videos. You can pause the video and you can go back. If I have said something in the octave or a major second that doesn't quite latch on with you yet, go back, listen to it again, listen to the examples again. They will help you. All right, they will help you. Go back, listen to them again, take your time. There is no rush here. There really isn't. Okay? That being said, the last interval that we're going to work on today in this video is the major seventh. All right, so we previously did the octave. Okay, great. And then the major second, which is really close, just right above the first note. Okay. Now the major seventh is not quite an octave. Not quite an octave, but it's almost. So a major seventh is this. One more time. Now, remember I told you just a little bit ago that feeling is important with this one, and if you know anything about scales, major scales and all that sort of thing, this interval, it's a feeling that you're going to get. It's going to... that note just wants to go one note up. It just wants to go to that octave. It wants to lead into the octave. That's why I started with that, because the octave is what helps you with that feeling that you get. So if this is the end-all goal to try and get to an octave, the major seventh, it just has that feeling of driving right up to the top of that scale and have that eighth. So the major seventh, the biggest helpful thing to help you remember this interval is the feeling of going up to the octave. That's the biggest tell for that. Now, if that's not enough for you, that's okay. You're all right. You're not alone. There's a song for that too. Now, the major seventh is a very odd interval, and so there's nothing super cheesy about it. There's no cheesy song like Happy Birthday or Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which everybody knows. The song that I have in my head to help with the major seventh is actually a song that some of you may know, some of you may not. So The name of the song is Take On Me by Aha. Yeah, if you know that song, in the chorus when he's like, I'm going to take it down because, I don't want to do that. So I'll start it down here, and then you got Take On Me. And even in that song, it's driving towards the octave. So you've got the root, major 7th, then 8, or the octave. So you've got the Take On Me. And you've got that song as a nice little linchpin. Again, if you've never heard that song before, I strongly encourage you to listen to it, which I will get back to in just a second because I'm going to talk about something else after we're done with this. But yeah, the major 7th is all about driving up into the octave. So we've got our octave, okay? Actually, I took that down an octave for me. That was C3 to C4. Sorry about that. What I did earlier was C4 to C5, which is fine. And then you've got your major 2nd, which is really close. Happy Birthday or Silent, whichever song you want to do. There are tons of songs out there that you can find that'll help you out with those. And then the major 7th, which leads into the octave. Take On Me, guys. Take On Me. If you don't know that song, listen to it. I strongly encourage you to help. It'll help you out. I promise. All right. So those are the 3 intervals that I want you to talk about with your friends and your parents and all that other stuff. I mean, you've got, at least in this time, at the time of this video, it's the height of this coronavirus, COVID-19 business. And so what are you going to do? You're at home. Most of you should be at home, staying safe. But you've got some things that you can do with music that can help you out. Talk about it. Teach your parents something if they don't know anything. Or if you're a parent watching this video and need to teach your kids. These are great tools to help you with that. We had an octave, major 2nd, major 7th in this video. Again, the previous 2 videos are the perfect, part 1's perfect 5th, and then perfect 4th is in the part 2. So go back and watch those videos. Hope you enjoy those as well. Now I'm going to switch gears right here at the end of this video to talk about something else. On my channel, if you have not subscribed, by the way, like and subscribe to this video if you haven't already. Would love to see that. Post in the comments also. I'm scatterbrained a little bit, but post in the comments some examples of songs that I have not mentioned, that cannot be songs I've mentioned in the video, that include an octave jump, a major 2nd, which is really close, and then a major 7th. Find some songs that have those intervals and let me know in the comments below. Please do that. That would help me out. Help me know that I'm reaching some of you. In the previous 2 videos, I've had some great examples, and I love all of those. Please keep them coming. If you are a person that's already watched that video, but you heard a perfect 5th in a song that you didn't think of before, put it down in the comments. It's okay. 2-fers are allowed. 3, 4 different examples, that's okay. In this video, again, just the octave, major 2nd, and major 7th. Now, also in the comments is also the place for questions. If you are confused about anything I've said, please put it in ask a question in the comments. I will get back to you as soon as I can to help you out. All right, that's my job, literally. But switching gears, also on my channel, there's a playlist of songs out there. It's called Journal Songs. And if you've been in my class before, then you're kind of familiar with this already. But for those of you who are not, if you're watching this video and you've never had an actual class with me in a classroom at a school, here's how this works, guys. For every song on the Journal Songs playlist, watch them. Watch the videos. I do not own those videos. The people that made them, that's their thing. That's their property. I'm not trying to infringe on anybody in that way. I just liked them and added them to a playlist on my channel. Reason being, for journal songs, it's a good thing to write things down. And so what I'd like you to do is watch those videos and listen to those songs and write down your thoughts on those songs. What did you think of the songs? The reason I mention this is Take On Me. Remember I told you major 7th, Take On Me? Take On Me. Yeah, that song is on there. I put that on there for the purpose of this video, and also it's just a great song in general that you should listen to, and it is the music video for those that care. So you should check that out. It's a really good one. Write a journal about it. Okay, write a journal about it, and then tell me what you think about it. Tell your journal what you think about it. It's getting your thoughts on paper. It's a very therapeutic method for life in general. But if you would like to share your thoughts in the comments below, I'll take those too. That's great. That's fantastic. Just reacting to songs, that's awesome. Put them in a video or send me a message on Twitter or Instagram. I would love any of that. And so I would say, though, I would caution you, the songs, there's not very many right now. I'm adding them as I find good ones that I'd like to share. I mean, they're all good. Music's biased, but anyway, I have a few that I've put on there, and I'm adding more constantly. So the songs out there are all personal favorites of mine. There are two songs that are titled the exact same. It's Amazing Grace, which a lot of you know, but it's two different renditions of Amazing Grace that are performed in similar style. And what I'd like to do as a challenge for you, I'd like you to take those videos and compare them to each other. So listen, one of them's a video, one of them's just an audio, but it's still a video. Listen and compare, and you'll be surprised how many things that you find that are similar, but also different. And I want you to talk about that. Think about that. What's different about it? All right? And remember, we're trying not to just be putting our thoughts down. Go a little deeper into it. If you like the song, don't just say, I like this song. Okay, that's fine. That's great. I'm glad you liked it. But also, go a little deeper. Think why. Always ask yourself the question, why do I feel this way? Why do I have this feeling towards this song in this kind of way? You could have negative, positive, all those reactions. That's you're entitled to that. You can feel any way you can and want about songs, but always justify it to yourself. Why do you feel that way? What's led you in your place in life to feel this way about this song? So please listen to those. Again, the two Amazing Grace songs I encourage you to listen to back to back and then compare and contrast. The rest of them, they're just one-offs. Listen to one and then respond to it, and I would appreciate that as well. I'm just sharing with you the things in this time that I just want to share with you. So that is the deal with that. I will share something about this. If you would like to put in the comments your responses to songs and stuff like that, again, the only way I will know that is if you comment on one of my videos, not one of the ones that are actually on the playlist, because again, those are not my videos. I just am sharing them with you. So if you send me a message on comment on one of these videos, or if you'd like to send me a message on Instagram or Twitter, you can do that as well. My Twitter is Mr_Revis, R-E-A-V-I-S. You can check me out there. And then Instagram is KaloR711. That's my Instagram, so you can check those out. Send me a message, let me know what you think about those songs, and I'll leave you with a quote to help you in that activity as well. And it's by, and you probably heard the quote before, but it just stuck with me when I was thinking about telling you about these journals and what to do with them. It's a quote by Maya Angelou that she says, I've learned that people will forget what you said, and people will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And I say this quote to help you in that why. Why do you feel this way? What did music do to make you feel this way? What did this particular song do to make you feel this way? Think about those things. Don't just shut them out. Don't just take your feelings and just state them. That's the first step. The second step is to figure out why. Understanding your feelings, it's the challenge of our lives, right? So please do that. I think you would benefit from it. But again, I'm just a guy on a screen talking to you. So you can listen to me, you can not listen to me. It's your choice, and of course, but I would strongly encourage you to do so. And so with that, I think we're going to wrap this video up today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So I hope you are staying safe, and stay in tune, guys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.